Good morning, everyone. What a week. What a week. Many things occurring. Just sitting here and resting in the Father and in His love. Connecting to Christ in here, right here. And He was just telling me to speak. He said to extend what He is giving me in my heart, and that is to focus on the Christ in one another. And I just got a message. Hey, Charles. I'll get back to you soon, brother. Yeah. So 2 or more gathered, and here's the difference between the Father and the ego. The ego projects. It projects onto others. The Father extends, and He extends His love that's within you onto others. And when you focus on the Father in others, strip away the flesh, get rid of all the stones. Even Yeshua Himself would have casted that stone if He was stating He was God. But He didn't, because He knew He was in the flesh, and that's a curse. Error doesn't like Christ. Error doesn't like the truth, doesn't understand it, wants to eradicate it because it destroys everything about it. Error doesn't like Christ. So today, seek the Father in others. All of these things aren't going to matter soon, and we're going to get to that point where even the flesh is not a concern no more in all aspects, and it's just home or not. So seek the Father in others. Focus on the Father. Focus on the Christ in them, and then that's when the extension of the Holy Spirit is, because that's where the communion is, and the 2 or more now are gathered in the extension of the Holy Spirit, in the extension of the Father's Spirit, and atonement occurs in that place. And it's quite a perfect place when 2 do gather or more gather in that place, because it's definitely not projections and perceptions that they are casting. It's an extension of the Father, and that's what we see in others. And only then can the Holy Spirit extend itself and have atonement, have things occur that are just miraculous, unbelievable, beautiful. So today, focus on the Christ and extend the expression of love that's in you, and only that. Don't project. Start to discern the difference between the ego and projection and perception and dominance and control, and the Father's love, His Spirit, and His extension to all equally. And sit in that, rest in that for as long and best as we can, and keep practicing these things. So I hope that you guys have a beautiful and wonderful day, and I hope that these little things that Father's putting in my heart are doing something. Well, I don't hope they're doing something, because He just whispered in my heart that everything is doing something. So especially when we speak Him into the atmosphere, Him outside of our heart, when we speak from in here and extend it outwards, and that's the atmosphere now being set with the Father and His complete perfection. And it is true, it's where atonement begins, it's where atonement is, because that's where the Father rests His extension, His hand upon who it is that is completing these things, that they're understanding these things, they're practicing these things and acting on the knowledge that they've acquired and turning it into wisdom. So now the spirit of wisdom is there, and this is all a beautiful thing, and it only bears good fruit. It's only a good thing. Father doesn't give you a serpent when you are hungry and want a fish. All right. So have a beautiful day, and yeah, it's been quite difficult. I'm sure there's lots of dreams occurring and lots of different challenges within the heart and within the mind as well, and the refinement, and all of those different things are occurring right now, because I know, because I can feel them. And it's quite heavy, but at the same time, when you just rest in Father for a moment, all that weight just lifts for a second, and you remember why you're doing it and what you're doing and why you're here. So remember that as well. Focus on the Christ in others. Extend that expression, and don't project. So have a beautiful day, and all is well. And yeah, get through the next little cycle of these different things that you're challenging yourself with, and they come in kind of cycles, and we break them cycles and them patterns, and we always learn, even when you feel like you've stopped or you've stepped backwards. There's no such thing in this day and age, in this time that we're in with the Father. There's no such thing as stepping backwards or moving backwards right now. So know that too, that everything you know and everything you're learning and everything you've learned is something. It's not nothing. It's something. And it's something for you to keep trekking forward with and moving forward in. There is no backward step in this. And we're in the last ages, and we're in amongst this right now, which proves that whatever life we're living right now, whatever things we're learning and practicing and moving and developing and remembering about the Father and who we are, is all moving forward. It's all steps forward. There's not one step back. So it may feel like everything's stalled, or everything's moving back a little bit, or whatever the feeling is, that you don't quite have it. You don't quite have it. What is it? I need to do something. And you don't quite have it. Well, rest your heart, because when you focus in the Christ within you, and you focus in the Father, He tells you specifically there is no turning back, and there's no stepping back. Just accept what's coming forward and be the best expression of His attributes that you know of in this time, which is an eternal process of knowledge, of infinite information. So it's only what you know of in this time, and keep expressing that, and know that everything is good, that your heart is well, your soul is well, and we'll get through this, all of us. And I say that because I have I've got a lot of these different challenges that I'm working through as well, and it's something that you work on in secret. And I've noticed more and more and more the more that I work on these things in secret, you do see things move around you and not understand and want to understand or want to know, but the Father says in my heart that everything you do now is in secret. Error is after you, and being in secret with the Father and in the Father, when you're alone and He can see everything about you, everything, all of it, from what's going on here, and even in intricate detail that you couldn't possibly comprehend. He can see it all, and all what's going in here, what's happening around you. He sees this, He knows this, He understands it, and it's also something that is supposed to take place. So He sees you at your deepest. So in secret, that's when you can be at your deepest with Him, and be at your deepest with Him. That's when, no matter what in the past, no matter what chains, no matter what iniquities, no matter what you think sin is, He can extend His love, His unconditional love, and He can always be there as your Father and say, what's to be concerned about? I see all. There was nothing new here. It only feels new for you. So be in that secret place as well. A lot more. And feel Him. And then the other thing is, people around us, if they want to enter into these secret places, then they will reach out and they will ask, and the Holy Spirit will extend itself to those who are reaching out in that same way, in that same place. They're focusing on Christ, focusing on the attributes of the Father within each other, and an atonement occurs. True atonement, ultimate forgiveness of all, in all of aspects. And that sort of atonement, then you, in secret, you can actually extend, because you have an understanding of it, and it's your understanding now. So you extend that. But I don't want to digress too much. It's just focusing on Christ and the Father in others. Let the Holy Spirit extend itself. Father sees everything. He sees everything. Many times when we're sitting there and we're in a little bit of a shambles within our spirit because new things are coming up, old things are moving around and all this stuff, and we're in a bit of a shambles, and He's the only one. Oh, there's Shannon. Good morning, Shannon. Getting texts all over the place. He's the only one that can whisper in your ear the truth. Whisper in your heart the truth. That all is well with your soul. Keep trekking, keep journeying, keep moving, keep growing, keep expressing the fruits and the attributes. Keep extending these things. I was going to swear, but I'm not. Get rid of projections and perceptions, and the thoughts are really good with this. This thing here, sometimes you just wish you could just cut it off. Not physically. Although, no. You just feel like you've got to shut these thoughts down. You've got to shut this down for a moment in order just to hear the Father. And He's not in that burning bush. He's not in that flame or that smoke over there. He's in that quiet place, in that whisper in your heart that tells you, I see all, I know all. Don't be concerned. And then you go, wow, I was concerned, because you see all and you know all. And He's, don't be concerned. Keep changing. Keep repenting. Move away from the things that don't serve you. Keep challenging those things that don't serve you and moving away from them. Challenging is the moving away from these things, and they will want to rear their heads. They do. But you're not moving backwards. Keep moving forwards. You got this. I know you have. So extend that, Father, today. And much love to everyone. And I'll talk to you soon, okay?